Okay.
Oh,
That
audio
is
fun.
Sundi finding sound effects on our soundboard today, just now before we opened up. But we're going to get started really quick. But I would really like to kind of shout out. I think we might need to form a support group for all of the
Hmm.
Vanderpump Rules therapists, possibly a GoFundMe.
Oh,
These
yes.
folks are going through it.
Yes.
Especially the one today where these people hated her, hated each other, hated the day they were born, and we need to get them together and be like, "You're gonna be okay. Everything's
This is
okay."
this is the person's confessional I want. I've heard Kristen and James' side of the story enough. I want to know Lindsay's side of the story is who I want. I want to hear Elizabeth. I want to hear Lindsay. I want to hear whoever
Oh
Shorty went
yeah,
to. Let's get them out there. That's the reunion I want to see. Absolutely.
I want to see that whole session because it got real ugly in there. It got real
I
bad.
think I think we saw what we needed. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But hello, everyone. This is But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio podcast. We are Vintage Vanderpump Rules, Season 4, Episode 4, Happily Never After.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot. We covered a lot of ground, but to remind, Jax wants Brittany in her lingerie to work at Sir or Pump, whichever. Sheena is real sus about Brittany being a thing. LVP sees her and was like, it's not a no, it's a maybe later. James and Jenna obviously was boning.
Mm-hmm.
He lies about it. And then the Shay business where he hasn't been home, and it's sort of like it's revealed that he is doing more than just being gone. He's mixing alcohol and pills. That being said, I would like to issue a quick little trigger warning for the discussion of addiction. There is a few scenes in here that get pretty heavy. So if you're having feelings about the disease of addiction or like the family involvement or intervention, all that kind of stuff, this might be a hard one. I will try to put in the show notes the timestamps of it. So Jeff helped me remember to do that. So that way, when we get there, if you
Gotcha.
want to just like fast forward, you can. But I mean, there's some real dumb, funny, hilarious shit that happens, but there's also some really, really heavy shit that like really goes down.
Yes.
Speaking of the dumb shit that happens, Katie has introduced her new grift. This
Yeah.
is this is my prediction.
I
Remember,
absolutely love this. Yeah, we were going to see more grifts. I wanted
yeah,
more of the side hustle stuff also. I was
yeah.
very excited to see this. Yeah.
So we got Kristen's t-shirt line called James May, I
Who?
think. Kristen's,
Who's
I think
Kristen?
it's called.
Does she work at Sir? I don't know her.
We've said her name more times than we've said the name of the show, so I think it bears
I don't know who
repeating
that
that she has a
is.
t-shirt line. And then Katie's blog, Pucker and Pout, which
Yep.
I think is a great name. I think that's pretty cute. And it is like it's a blog that's like beauty, hair, tutorials, do it yourself stuff, and she's wearing a very stupid headband during this whole scene.
That I was like, I even wrote, I was like, what festival is she going to? And then immediately she's like, yeah, you can wear these for festivals, but I think you can wear them at any time. I was like, no festival. There you go. Answered my
Uh,
first question right there.
well, it feels a little like cultural appropriation, especially when she like shows the picture of that head thing, but it's 2015. They didn't care about that yet. And Sheena wants everyone to know she's going through it. So like, I need you to take pictures of me looking away, and because I'm just not my chipperest self, please ask me about what's going on. I don't want to talk about it, but I need you to ask me about it. Please, please, please. And so she characterizes it being several days since she's seen Shay.
Yeah. Luckily, Schwartz is there to
And
offer his help in the modeling also, though.
because what are his credentials for modeling? Did you catch
He
that?
went to the Tom Sandoval School of Modeling, and he graduated.
Which you and I did as well. If you would like to see Jeff and I doing our
That's
very
correct.
best curriculum from the Tom Sandoval School of Modeling, head over to the YouTube
I'll head
and
over there right
watch
now.
us because
What'd you say?
Jeff does a There it is. He's perfected the I'm walking away, but what did you say?
Hmm.
So go check that out. This is also this is where we start to kind of see where Sheena's head is about Shay's particular predicament and his particular situation, where she says that he quote had a pill problem last year, but they got it under control. And I'm like, we start to see, it's like, okay, well, Sheena doesn't understand how addiction works. She's not like fully educated in this particular situation. And Schwartz also continues to be an idiot, talks about Shay doesn't fit the stereotype of what an addict looks like.
Yeah, I mean, there's no face of what addiction looks like. It comes in every size,
Exactly.
shape, and color possible, every type of person, every walk of life. So there is
Yeah.
no look of addiction. I mean, I get it. Shay looks happy, but we all know that doesn't mean anything. Katie
Well,
seems very supportive and
Dave,
wonderful about it.
yeah, Dave Chappelle did not really help the cultural mythology of what a drug addict looks like with that skit that he did. And I'll let you guys go Google like the Dave Chappelle skit, because that is kind of a certain generation, that it's a really like stereotype and it kind of baked in. But we all know, like you just said, it could be, really anything. And it's like Schwartz talks about how shocking it is for Shay to be having these troubles. And I was like, it's not really, though. It's kind of just, par for the course.
Yeah, it might be a little because the youth, because maybe this kind of thing hasn't been around a
Yeah.
lot, like around 30. I mean, I have to say I've seen it before age 30, but
Yeah.
maybe a lot of people haven't really been around it that much by then.
Well, and I will say this too, and not to get like too heavy into it, but the kinds of substances that the generation behind us, like Nolan's generation, that they have to grapple with and they have to fight through is a lot different than what we dealt with. And like obviously we had hard drugs, we had street drugs, but the way that it's kind of like sweeping through this generation is very different. And so these folks are not all that younger than us at this time. And so
Hmm.
they didn't really have any experience with like fentanyl or like the opioid like situation that we were dealing with now. And so like Nolan right now, like for every one person that like they know two people that have either perished from addiction or like an active disease. So it's a very different time. And I will say that I'll give credit to that, because Sheena is just so optimistic, and she's like, you know what, I really gotta stop crying. And Katie's like, yeah, stop crying so we can take these pics, girl. And the pics turned out really good though. So pain and suffering, really, really photogenic.
Yeah, she had the whole team rolling in. Like it looked more, as far as other people's side hustles, like this looked awesome. Like I loved it. The pictures looked good. Way to go,
It did
Katie.
look good.
Love it.
It did a good look. Okay, so back to Sir. Wolverine and Bad Sandy
Ugh.
are starting a thing. And look, I know that he is awful, but I think it's so endearing when somebody calls you kiddo. I love it. It's so cute because he walks up, he's like, hey, kiddo. And for those uninitiated, we're talking about Jax and Lala. Go to Instagram. I did a whole bit because they were dressed as Wolverine and Bad Sandy last time. And so, but it takes such a weird left. This whole conversation just turned so strange. And you can see Lala trying to stay in the moment as Jax flirts question mark with her.
That's Jack's flirting for sure. Yeah, anything, because she brings up the fact that he has a girlfriend at the time, and I love, I got Brittany, but I'm still out here. Like he has her. We've talked before about him starting to drop in stuff about doing stuff for people and kind of taking a bit of ownership for him. Like I think these little phrases, come will come into play maybe, but it takes a harder one when he's talking about where she's from for sure.
Well, he's so horny from her. I don't think his mind is even working at the like the lowest capacity, because he's like, "Yeah, like you're from Utah, right? Like you're Mormon." And she's like, "Well, I'm not Mormon." He's like, "Well, let me ask you this." And then proceeds to launch into a questioning about anal sex.
Yep.
Sir, you were at work. It is broad daylight outside, and you were talking to a woman that you have met all of 3 times. Can we not talk about anal sex? But she matches it though. She was like, Could you see her? She takes a beat. She's like, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's the anal and the killer blowjobs. And Jax just like head explodes. His boner starts raging. He's like, yes, my kind of girl.
No, it's a great public conversation. You want that at the most front-facing place of your business, absolutely, especially when the owner can walk in or anyone at any minute. I don't, I mean, as if that wasn't bad enough, really his reaction to that is worse. He's like, "Do you know what kind of stuff I get into?"
I was gonna
Back
ask you that,
a
and
way. This is not like call the police. This is Sunday's call the
yes,
police of the episode right here. Call everyone, every type of
and
authority, please.
protect this woman because I have a feeling that the editing cut off some of that conversation. What is the rest of that conversation?
I have a feeling that she said, I don't know, why don't you tell me what you get into? And he went, I can't, I can't, I would, and that was, and he stammered like that for about 35 minutes until Lisa walked in and, like slapped
I
him on the
mean,
back and got him back, got her Jax robot back going again.
yeah.
Cause I bet his mind broke. That's what I'm
I
guessing.
I think I would prefer that than saying, like making a list of things that he's actually into. We already heard last week about his foot situation.
No,
So,
he didn't put any sentences together to this girl
thank
after he
God.
says that. He did not. I don't think there's any way.
Okay, well, thank God then, because really weird. So of course Lisa does catch them, and she's like, "Yes, it need to ignore 95% of what he says." And so
Yeah.
she goes over to further kind of like scold him a little bit, and she was like,
Scold
make
him.
sure you don't give her your little Jacks, and why would you like poo in your own backyard? Which I don't know if that's the saying either,
It's close.
but
We'll give her that one.
yeah, and then she calls Brittany Miss Lingerie. She's like,
Hmm.
"Well, aren't you in love with Miss Lingerie?" And this is where we realize that she's coming back and she really needs a job. So they have not said it outright that Brittany is moving here, but it's obviously stands to reason that if she needs a job here, she is moving here. And even
I
Lisa
think that
says,
was
"Oh my
the
God,
yeah, I think that was them saying it. She's coming back. She needs a job. She's
yeah."
moving. Yeah.
And
Lisa's a little wary of his commitment, you know. Three noses
because of
in
his
just a year.
noses.
Yeah.
But surely this woman has watched the show. Brittany has seen the show. This is season 4. The show has been on for 3 seasons.
I
She has enough wherewithal to have watched it, right?
I would hope so. I mean, you said like maybe her and Lala haven't seen the show. I'm like, these people have absolutely had to have seen the show by this point. Yeah. I mean, they've
I,
also
I
probably been in
mean,
talks with the producers for 2 years. We just don't know about it.
possibly, but or maybe she's the kind she's like, "Oh, I can change him. He'll be
Yeah.
good for me.
Yeah.
I'll make him a good man." Like maybe she's one of them.
Yeah. I can change him is a great way to go.
Yeah, that always works out. Yeah. So then we go to Toca Madera, which is this triple date. No, 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 just kidding. This is the boys' night, which I guess it could
Yeah.
be also a triple date, where they invite James, and
Hmm.
Jax is, a little bit wary. They are still not necessarily clocking how menacing this man is just yet because Jax is like, oh, he's like me. He's just like fucking around and he's very free. He's just drinking a lot. He's fun to have around because he's always going to do something outrageous. But as the night wears on, it gets it gets intolerable.
Yeah.
Intolerable.
Yeah. They start off just like asking him questions about Kristen right away,
Yeah.
and it's shot time for sure. And yeah, it doesn't take long. He gets going on his own right away, on his merry little way.
Yeah, so they've broken up 8 times. We did
Hmm.
that little bit of information, and then
Yeah.
somebody says the same sentiment that I had is that the therapist that they're going to see tomorrow, that therapist is going to need a therapist, and agreed because these two people hate each other. Even now, like not even in the confessional time, but even in the real time in which they are still together, they hate each other. Like
Yeah.
they do not like each other at all. And
See
then
Jeff's
it brings up,
comments the past few
yeah.
shows. Yes.
And then it also too, this is like in the future, but Tom brings up that him and Schwartz are going to go to the LVP to like pitch something about sangria, and you can just sort of see Peter be like, "Bro, like stay in your own lane," because if anybody needs to be pitching anything to LVP, it needs to be Peter, because this man is a workhorse.
This man is a film director, Sunday.
That's
That
right.
is
That's
not, he
right.
has his side hustle. We already know his side hustle. This is the Toms here. I'm excited for them. This is new career
Yeah.
possibilities.
But I love how they are just making a whole ass meal of that clip of Tom at his modeling job jumping.
Yeah.
Like they every time that Tom Schwartz says something about modeling, they use that dumb fucking clip of him jumping.
Wouldn't you? I mean, I know how much Schwartz likes to get other people's shirts made. Like if I was his buddy, everyone else except Schwartz would
That's
have a
right.
shirt with the umbrella shoot on it. Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Um,
For sure. And so, and this is where it takes a turn for like just so disgusting. Like I said, I just sort of thought James was just kind of like a dopey twerp. I didn't really understand how disgusting and menacing he was. I got a glimpse of it last week when he's like, "Yeah, I totally boned that girl." But here, when Jax asks about Lala, and James already deep in the cup talks
yeah,
about, "Yeah, Lala's a little slut. She likes to act like she's not, and she'll never admit she's a slut, but she's a huge slut."
hammered.
That that is that is bad. That's a really really bad showing, and it goes sort of to show too that maybe James doesn't necessarily understand what how he's going to be received, right? Like he's just like so many of the other reality TV series, and maybe not so much on these, maybe Katie a little bit, but are kind of like censoring themselves a little bit, or at least kind of like explaining away their actions in their confessionals, right? Like they at least seem reasonable in their confessionals. James doesn't have that particular experience yet, and so he's just
No,
saying the most disgusting things and then doubling down on them in the confessional, and it is just playing really really gross.
I don't think he would give a shit. I don't think sensible James here is a thing. So I mean, that isn't, I don't think it's like we caught him on a bad time, a bad night or something. I think it's
Right.
just a rough
Well,
hang.
I think that's really kind of what's so insidious about it, because we are actually seeing like what a fucking menace this man is. And but then Tom starts to talk about Sandoval talks about how he acts when he's drunk, and everybody has known this person.
Yes.
We used to hang out with one of our friends who was a little bit younger, and she would get drunk, and like her voice would be louder and louder and louder. And whenever James like reached over to Tom, he was like, Tom, listen to this. Our friend would do this. Like if anybody else in the circle was talking, she would be like, y'all, listen to this. And nobody could have any other conversations. And that is the
Hmm.
most, he's so obnoxious. It's so obnoxious.
Yeah,
Everybody knows
no,
somebody like that.
it's totally, you're at a show, you're vibing along and you're in your own thing, and he's the guy that just grabs you and gets right in your face, like, isn't this what we're doing? And they're like, not right now, not right now. We're good. We're good.
No, please back away, back away. But they continue the rest of the night. And then we immediately go to Kristen's apartment, which he is on the couch asleep. And when I saw him asleep on the couch and I saw Kristen in the kitchen saying, "James, it's time to get up," I knew how it was going to go. I was like, I know how this morning's go. I have had this morning. I have been on each side of this scenario.
Yep.
I
Yep.
know that he is going to be the worst possible person ever. And we only see her say, "James, get up," one time, but I bet she had to say it 30 times.
Well, that, and anytime she's closing the fridge, she's slamming it. She's getting those pans out of the oven out of the cabinet extra hard. Bowls are falling all over the place. Like, yeah, there's extra stuff. She's doing some more knife work that day. I mean, I'm sure, because not only, I'm sure, does she wake
Well,
him
let
up on
me,
purpose, she like starts in on questions, like, which no one wants to hear when they're woken up and hungover. Like, how do you feel?
yeah.
Why did you drink like that? Like, give me give me a second.
That's right. He's been awake for 38 seconds, Kristen. Could you just back the fuck off for a minute? And can you imagine what this man smells like? Like he is probably sweating vodka, smells like who done it, yesterday's cigarette ashtray. Like he look I bet he rolled off that bed and got straight into the car and went straight to therapy because when they get there, he mad. He big mad.
He big man for sure. Yeah. They well, some people get accused of not really showing their true selves in therapy, and that's a thing that'll really preclude you from being able to get the therapy you deserve. Well, first step, that's taken care of. These people are themselves right away.
Why would he even agree to do this? I'm not even talking about this morning. I'm talking about like beforehand when they even made the appointment. Why even waste the money? Like, don't go. If you're gonna yell at her and tell her what a fucking bitch she is, and you're gonna listen to her say with your sorry dick, just stay at home and yell at each other. Like, don't waste this poor woman's time.
I've said this before, but I think James may not have great judgment. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna put that out there again.
Yeah,
I
well,
think there's a possibility, but
Kristen
I
on the
have no
other hand,
idea. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, so Kristen tries to frame it that her and Jenna were good friends, and we do see that one flashback where they were like carving dicks
Get out.
with the
Don't do the
cucumbers.
cucumber party. Nope, we're out. Never bring up the cucumber party.
But that's where we get the yeah, and then you had to fuck Jenna with your sorry dick. I love that so much. That made me laugh. I laughed out loud about that. But then the therapist, straight face, she says, "So it looks like there's some unhealthy things happening here." Yeah, yeah, dummy. This real unhealthy. Did the fuck you bitch when he walked in the door? Not the first giveaway. Like what?
The first thing
And
he says is get over it. I got fucking drunk. That's
yeah,
the first thing he said in therapy is get over it. So that's where we are.
yeah,
That's what's going on
and
here.
she is very professional. She says, "Well, how can we stop the retaliating?" Well, she sucks. Like she's fucking sucks. And well, that's not really respectful. Well, she's not respectful. Fuck that bitch. And this whole time, he's just so petulant, and it shakes out too. And I think that you have said this too. This dynamic to where it kind of feels like she is parenting him or like mothering him. And
Yeah.
even in this thing, it seems like there was like a mom who was in therapy with her angry teenager. And he's like,
Yeah.
God, mom, this sucks. It's so stupid. And the whole time the therapist is treating it like it's a normal fucking session. Like she's giving it her all.
Yeah, he's like, you talk out of your ass, you're delusional. And she's like, see, that's more name calling. And then a second later, he's like, you're a fucking bitch. Like, it's like, well, all
Yeah.
right. And then the two of
Because he
them, like
says,
the therapist is going in, even on Kristen's behalf, and the two of them are yelling at each other or at the therapist. They really, I don't know if like rage rooms were a thing back then where you could go in and throw stuff and break it. That's what
that's
these
what
two
they
need.
need.
They do not like go in, break some equipment, scream at each other. They probably just make out right there anyway.
Yeah,
And
that
this
would make
whole
them
thing,
so
and
horny, Jeff. What are you
yeah,
talking
exactly.
about?
That's what I mean. That's better than watching this at least.
They probably went home and fucked after this therapy session because he screams at her, "You're so fucking delusional." And the therapist says, "Well, that's name calling." He said, "Well, I feel like you're fucking delusional."
Yeah.
Just like, damn. Like that whole thing, it felt like a skit. It felt like they were trying to be satirical about what therapy ought to be. But I will say, Kristen looks so pretty. I don't know if it was the light in the therapist's office, but she just looked so pretty. Her skin looked so good. She just was like really, really pretty in there. But James didn't give a shit. He was wearing yesterday's tank top.
Hmm.
I could smell the booze from the screen from 12 years ago. Like he was who done it, looking like who done it.
Yeah, Lindsay was probably like, "You smell like this guy I went on one weird date with. Were you out with a Jax Taylor last night?" Yeah.
So, speaking of going on a date, though, we get a triple date, which noticeably Jax is not there. They're at like Sadie's or some really cute
Sadie,
little
yeah.
date spot, yeah. And there's like a U-shaped booth, and it's Schwarty, it's Pampered at the Disco, and it's Peter and Sarah with an H, which our
That's right.
keen eye said that we think it's from that same from last season where they made him call her. But he says they've been dating since Sheena's birthday,
Hmm.
and they're
He's
officially
stoked.
boyfriend and girlfriend now.
Yeah, he's excited about a new girl. They're getting serious. And then they have news.
Yeah. Well, they have an announcement too, and everybody's like,
But do they have
"What?" And
news?
the
I mean, is
announce
this news?
I don't. No, they do not have news. The news is 4 years old and it has to do with another person that we've never met and never will met. You have a child, a 4-year-old child. That's
That
not
is correct.
news. That's not an announcement. That's
Like
not an announcement. That is just a fact.
that's how absurd like having a child is to some of these people. Like when it comes up, you've got to be like, ring a ding ding. Hold on. Real adult here doing some stuff. Look away. Like
Well,
this
Schwartz has never
person's
met a
bought
real adult before.
actual diapers that weren't for a party when you have 40 ounces tied to your hands. Biggest takeaway for me
They,
though early on is the drink Katie orders. Did you notice
I've,
that?
yes, I did. I even looked it up. What goes in a bramble? I'd never heard of it
Yes.
before. Do you know what goes in a bramble?
Yeah, it's like a blackberry bourbon drink.
Yes. Well the recipe that I looked up that it was gin, but I guess it was like
Oh,
gin, simple syrup, which because everything that these goddamn people drink has simple syrup in it. Literally every single thing.
or triple
And
syrup if Jax Taylor makes it for you.
that's right, triple syrup, and then a blackberry liqueur and club soda if you're feeling bubbly.
I was living in Kentucky at the time, so maybe that's why I figured it
Mm,
had bourbon, or that was
yeah.
just me.
Or maybe it's just a version of it, right? Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
you just drank yours with bourbon in it, sir. So then the talk turns to marriage. And Sandoval is so keen to marry this woman. And
yeah,
she says, "Oh, babe, that's so sweet." And then her face immediately just screws into a like, ooh, ooh, ooh. She doesn't want it. She knew since she was 5 years old. It's just not for her. No, thank you.
yeah. She's sticking to that, just like Schwartz is sticking to not liking ultimatums and pressure. Right here, right in front of everybody.
Yes, like a turd in the pool. Okay,
Hmm.
this man is like,
That's
yeah, I love deadlines, I love pressure, I love ultimatums. You already bought a ring. Why do you have to be shitty like this? Like we know, like the dramatic irony is none. We know that you are going to do it. So you obviously do love a deadline and you do love an ultimatum because you bit. So like why embarrass this woman? Because he hates her.
yeah. And she
The,
hates him for the most part also, but seems pretty
yes.
dedicated to it. Yeah.
Yeah, she can't stand him 90% of the time. Y'all, dump him. Dump this motherfucker. And
So
then,
this one like the Shay comes up.
yeah. And it's just sort of a rehash too, but I
Yeah.
just don't care for them framing it like it's Sheena's fault. Because she's so
Yeah.
bossy and domineering that there's just no space for him to feel his feelings. And I just find that to be really, really unfair. They've been together for 8 years. So, like, Alia said that it was they were high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
she didn't she didn't wake up 2 years ago being bossy and domineering. He has been with this woman this whole time, and it's just really unfair that they are kind of like off-putting the responsibility to this whole situation onto her. And I just it was not nice. It's not nice.
I made note of that also again. Like I don't like that they were calling her out for being domineering, like some of the faults with her, but they have been together for years and years, right? And
Yeah.
then but about 5 years ago, she had a giant affair with some other guy who's married, right?
Oh shit.
And that goes on for not like once or twice, like months, correct? I mean, that's what goes on.
Jeff.
That relationship there sparks an entire series to be born out of another series. So this thing goes from she's a waitress at Villa Blanca to this whole mess. So like is Sheena the same as she was 4 years ago? As far as like, I bet when she's talking about how excited she is about the wedding, she seems pretty similar to the girl from Pasadena. I bet when she's going on about her rise to stardom and wanting to be a pop star and be on this TV show and how she's got to get ready and doing a magazine shoot, I don't know if that is the same Sheena. Now, I'm not saying, but it's just
No.
something that crossed my mind. Like, I don't know if Shay is with the same Sheena from 5 years ago. and he may be the exact same.
And that is a really good point. And even to like piggyback off of that, because I typically do not like for someone to say, oh, a man is emasculated or you emasculated him. But I did not even put together that her and Eddie Cibrian
That's
probably
smack
were
dab in the
together.
middle.
Yes, and that her whole entire fame, this whole entire show is based on an infidelity. So that I think there is fairly emasculating and like, and especially the fact because Sandoval characterizes as man problems, talking about like the money and stuff, and so like his entire life
Um,
is being funded by an affair that his wife had. Like I didn't even think of that. That is really smart. That's a really good read.
yeah.
Yikes!
Also,
I got to rethink.
I didn't like the domineering stuff from Sandoval last week or this week, but whoa, pump the brakes on the money. You're airing out somebody else's financial woes in front of
Yeah,
everybody. I You can
yeah.
call me a bunch of names and you can, but like if you start airing some shit out about like my friends, family, or my money, no, you don't tell me about how like I'm
Yeah.
having trouble paying bills. We're done. I mean, that's it, man. I got nothing for you on that. Like I'm
Yeah.
almost. I mean, I don't like that he said that about Sheena, as I said, and they're like, well, he probably
No,
needs
you're
our help.
right.
Like, totally.
Yeah. No, I think that your take is this you're seeing it in a much more critical way. Like I was just immediately rushing to Sheena's defense in that way, probably because of
That
my
too.
own experience. But like, yeah, no, too, because they are absolutely counting his money. And Sheena does it a little bit later, which we'll get to, but they are outing this man in a lot of ways. So yeah, I think I might need to like marinate on that a little bit more because um the idea, yeah, I don't know. I don't like it a lot. I don't like that. Yeah. I'm feeling a little different now about it too
I
because
didn't mean to.
I forgot. I just forgot that their entire livelihood is based on that affair she had with Eddie Ciprian. That
Right.
just
Well, why
completely
not
slipped.
bring
Yeah.
that up rather than like also he could be bringing in some more bucks. Like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Like, you're my boy? I don't think so.
Well, back to Sir. We're gonna come back to this in a second because I got more to say about it. But James is like setting up his DJ equipment, and Lala's at the hostess
Oh,
stand, like refusing
we got that merch
to the.
alert. We got that merch table they're showing up there. I love that Sir merch. Get me some 2015 Sir merch right
I
now.
mean, let me hold on while I head to eBay really quick. Hold on. But so Lala is real good at the boys. Like she is so good at it. Like that could be her part-time job. Cause he walks up and she's like, "Hey, mister." And I'm like, okay, Lala, yeah, that's some boss level game right there. Even just like that, because he immediately just falls in line. He does. He was like, "Oh, hello, darling," and he puts his hand on her, and like, there's like she
That's
owns
weird.
every man in there.
The hand on her is very weird. That thing, I mean, when he's telling her she's pretty, but I think when she said that he's sexier as a DJ than a busser, the James anyone knew before that has ceased to be.
Yeah,
This is not a person who knows anything that's going on right now. Jax Taylor had more words for her at the beginning than James. I mean, his only move is like, can I touch your face? Oh my God. Like he's hasn't been shown a lot of just love. He gets some love from Kristen, but then gets some violence afterwards. This is just, well, you're sexier when you're doing this job than that other job you really don't like. That's
and
curtains.
he
James is
and
gone. He
she
has ceased to be.
continues to gas him up too. She's like, "Well, I just love everything that you play."
Yeah.
And she knows exactly what show. This woman is real smart. I really like Lala. I find her to be the femme fatale that this show needed. But he asked her if she sings, and she
Oh
says,
yeah.
of course." And she's like, "Oh, he, you make me blush." Nuh-uh. This woman has probably got like 60-year-olds on a yacht that's paying every single one of her bills and has bought her everything she has on. This skinny little punk is not doing nothing, but she understands how to like massage a dynamic, and she is absolutely doing it. I think she has clocked James for something he can give her, and she is
Yeah.
on the case.
Yeah. I've been wanting some new blood and I've gotten it this year, and this is why. This is exactly
Yeah.
why I wanted it. Let's turn this thing on its head a little bit.
And so James continues to run for first place of the dirtbag contest because in his confessional he was like, "What? Yeah, I mean, I'm going to do something about it. Like, what, I got to spell it out for you, sir? This woman is going to hurt your feelings, and I am going to love every fucking second of it. Like, I am very excited to see Lala handle him very smoothly and quickly. But first,
Yeah,
she's
I'm
got to get
sorry.
whatever she needs.
I couldn't write that down. I was too busy vomiting. So yeah, I came to when Schwartz was in a bathrobe, fortunately.
Yeah. Oh God. So these men, listen, I know I like to like diagnose quite a bit, but these two Toms are so codependent on each other that they both of them have significant others that are probably quite literally sitting in the other room, and they have to call each other to like pep talk them about what they're gonna
They're
wear.
excited. Nah, lay off, lay off. I'm sorry. They're pumped. They're goofy. That's a big day. If you got a big day with your buddy when you're like 30 years old, that's a big, I mean, this is a new career opportunity.
Yeah.
This is a big thing. It deserves, I mean, these
Yeah.
two are going to talk about what they wore for sure. I
Well, they're
mean,
not even talking about what they're talking about. Like, hey, so I should go with the Lexus audition? Should I be like luxury casual? It's
okay, I
so
tried.
douchey, Jeff. And you know it's douchey as fuck.
I'm happy for them is all. We're going to wear business
Yes,
casual, all right? Deal with it.
yeah. I'll be happy whenever they could keep it in their pants long enough to have a meeting because who the fuck can take Schwartz seriously? He is such a fucking schmuck. Like, oh my god. Cut to them entering in Villa Rosa. This house is so crazy. Also, sir, I
Mhm.
want the record to show that that swan was right by the door, guarding it.
I still say you would find a way to be comfortable at Villa Rosa. There's no way. That's not.
There would be no swans just walking around trying to attack
They're just sitting around peeing
because
out their butt. Don't worry about it.
as Schwartz tends to do when he comes around Lisa Vanderpump.
What did
Oh.
you make of their business casual attire? That's just an untucked shirt.
It was fine. I mean, Lisa's in jeans, so she knew she didn't give a fuck about this meeting.
Lisa
She's
can
just
wear
out
whatever
here
the hell she
sneakers.
wants. No.
I know, but I could count on one hand how many times this woman has worn jeans. That just means she doesn't give a shit about this. She was like in between, organizing her purses and giving orders to Rosa. She fit them in. Like the whole time that they're talking, her face is just like, sure, okay, sure. And they look like such idiots. They underestimated this situation in such a way. Like I'm gonna let you talk about it because this is more your
All right.
purview. But they walked
I
in
have
there.
plenty.
Yeah, go.
No pen, no paper. I'm just sitting here down to talk to you. I've got notes. I've got a pen. I got glasses. I'm kind of ready to work. Maybe I'm not in business cash. These dudes have
That's
a
right.
legit business meeting with a person with a
Ready to
giant
work.
estate in the Hollywood Hills. She got swans and everything else out there, and you brought nothing. You didn't have one thing to like, man, that is a good idea. Maybe I should write that down. They they also want to get right into the Shay thing. That's what you're going to start your business meeting with. You have nothing to show there, and you want to get in on the hot goss right when you got there
And
with your
then
boss who was just upset you weren't even around enough. So you're like, I got a new venture. I'm going to need some money. And did you hear about our waitress's husband who hasn't been around? Here's why I think it's an issue. And he gets into the money thing again. Not what
yeah.
needs to happen right here. It's a bad
And
idea.
then
It's not the time.
makes a wild suggestion that she give this man who has disappeared for a week, who is admittedly struggling with substance. Sure, let's give him a job at a bar.
Right. Nice gesture, I guess, that he can get a job, but and do if it goes well with Lisa and he goes to Sheena and Shay and it's like, yo, got you a job. You want to be slinging some drinks? Are they happy about that? Have they asked him to do this for them? And it's more of a thing on Tom, like, don't ask more than you need at this point. Like, you need to ask about this stuff. I like the concern for your buddy, but it's just not the
Yeah.
time or place. And
Yeah.
Handy and Jason come in. That's business casual. They look ready to
Yes,
go. They are ready to have a
that's
meeting.
right.
You two clowns over there, like you, I don't even know what to describe your dress is.
Schwartz immediately has a boy crush on Jason. He is like, listen, he looks like a model of a business
Yeah,
person.
this is Jason is this season's Jax's plastic surgeon. Like I'm gonna give him like one man
Yes.
crush a year. That Jason is that this year. They
That's
talk about
exactly
his
right.
head one too many times, I think. Let's don't not
Yeah.
bring up the guy's head. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and say that.
Yep.
Um but then we start going into the bits. We're gonna get into the sangria game. A little manufacturing. So I'm all in the beverage manufacturing.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Going from in-house to retail. This is something I have actually literally helped people do before. So I'm all about it. Um,
And Schwartz has a background in wine and spirits, if we
yeah,
didn't
okay,
know.
we're gonna. God,
I want to hear more about it. That's
I'm
all he
trying to.
said.
I don't know if you guys knew about that. I like, dude,
We
please
didn't.
don't do that. Like, I don't know if you guys knew that I had a background in wine and spirits, which she does bring up later, as a
No.
matter of fact. But yeah, they don't dislike the idea, which is great. Really their big comment is that they should be thinking more globally than I know people in LA, I know people in the middle of the country. They're like, dude, we've been all over jet setting all over the world. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing to hear. I want you to think bigger is a great thing to hear. Honestly, it's probably the best. Like your idea, not only you not getting to know, we're telling you about how many stores we have in this country. Where we were talking about national distribution here, and Schwartz is like, ugh. So they did give us homework when they leave, and that sucks. Like,
Well,
what did you think? Homework is what you want to get from it. If they're like, here's
yes.
it, great idea. Here's $10 million. Take it and do whatever you want to with
Well,
it.
that's what he said. He's like, we didn't leave there with a six-figure salary. But also, too, did they not do one Google? They didn't ask one question.
Nope.
They walked in there thinking they were going to introduce this product to St. Louis when they're in Australia, Turkey, Rome, Miami. They looked so stupid. Like,
Yeah.
they walked in there with this bravado thinking they were about to do some favor for Lisa Vanderpump, and she has already been all over the world pimping this stuff. Like, they just look dumb.
But
Real
they're not all
dumb.
over the town. They're not all over the world for the sangria though. They're doing the
Well, I don't
rosé and the
know.
other stuff. What they're saying is what you're doing with the rosé, we need to do with the sangria.
But
Like that's a
Lisa
new
even
product.
says, but Lisa even says that they wildly underestimated this particular brand. Like she says that in one of her confessionals. And so I just
Yeah.
think that they should have scaled their pitch to match the scale of the brand a little because they just looked silly. They look like they were going to their big brother's company trying to like, hey, can you bring little brother to work? It was so silly.
You know how we say sometimes, especially with Schwartz, when they blurt something out, you're like, oh God, reel that back into your mouth. Like, some comments are meant for a journal. Some things are meant for your diary. They know Jason and they know Pandy. I mean, even if they're not around a lot, that's where you go. You go to like, hey, can we talk to you on the side? Let's go get a cocktail. We're thinking about
Mm-hmm.
something for Vanderpump. The sangria. It could be huge. It could be the next rosé for you. What do you do? And then like start with just one guy on the side. I really don't think it's that bad. Like just because they weren't thinking globally, they were thinking, different regions in the US, like they don't have anything. So if you're telling like when you're telling somebody your order at a restaurant and they're not writing it down, you're kind of like, don't you need to be writing this down? Like you're going to mess this
Yeah.
up later. They're telling them about their global brand scale and they're like, uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yeah.
They're not
Sure.
even right. They're
Sure.
not
Sure. Sure.
writing, not like, hey, let me get my phone out. I'll record. I'll at least take notes on there. Like,
Mm-mm.
sure, bigger,
None
turkey.
of
Got it.
that.
Got it. I like turkey. Cool. Did y'all hear the shit about Shay? You want to talk about Shay some more? But they could have they could have done more,
But
absolutely. But it's not a
well,
strikeout.
if we know anything about Lisa Vanderpump, she's gonna give a man a shot. So the fact that she did not just like shut it down immediately, kind of like she did with old Brit later, it sort of leads me to believe that she is going to entertain this in some kind of way. She's going to give them some kind of job. They can be line leader of something because
Yeah.
she did not just say unilaterally, no, get out of here, y'all are idiots. Like I would have said. I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't need your dumbasses.
No, Sandoval's so good at like kind of a mood thing. Like for him to start off with the Shay thing, I think really did not do it.
Yeah.
I think Lisa got in a worse mood about it. They had to bring it up. And then like the last thing you want to do getting into this business meeting thing is like dig yourself out of a hole first thing,
Right.
and that's where he
Start
ended up
out with a
going.
no.
But I
Yeah.
like it.
They
This
had to
is
come
our
back from
word
a
of
no.
our word of the month is pivot. These two dudes are trying to pivot into something else, and
That's right.
it goes
Yeah.
fine, fine enough.
Yeah, and they have homework, and we'll see. We'll see what they come up with. But like Pandy and her wonky eye is just
There it
she could
is.
give a
I
shit
knew we
less
weren't
about
getting
these two.
past it.
Look though, she has less tolerance for their shenanigans than Lisa does. Hands down, she does.
Yeah, most Americans also do.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Do you want to take a pause down? Then we'll come back to the intervention.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.